Hey now, Deadheads, we're back again, this time with Record Store Day 2023. It was about a week ago, and had to dedicate some time to listen to the records, had a quick trip out of town, but now we are back, and we've got some records to look at. But first, a little scene report from Record Store Day last week. I went to Village Revival Records in the Greenwich Village, here in New York, over in Manhattan. Got there about 5 before 9 a.m., not thinking that there would be a terribly long line. Because when I went to Black Friday Record Store Day last year, it wasn't too long of a line over at Generation Records around the corner from Village Revival. But the line went around the corner. It's like, all right, it'll move quickly. I'm sure people will be in and out. They'll grab what they want, get out of there. But I ended up waiting in line for 2.5 hours over at Village Revival. Tapping my foot, things were moving slowly. Finally got inside. Found everything that I wanted, so I can't complain too much, for standing outside on a beautiful Saturday morning here in New York City. It turns out the owner, Jamal, I believe his name's Jamal, was just talking to everyone at the register, being a friendly guy, and so you can't complain too much when the reason that the line is moving slowly is just people are friendly. So we'll take the friendliness here in New York City. I think we all need a little bit more kindness. As I mentioned, though, got everything that I wanted. First, the Boston Garden Show. The box set, they had these behind the counter, so I was a little bit worried when I didn't see the big fuchsia box. The shiny box, actually. I didn't realize from the pictures how shiny it is. Let's see if you can, I don't know if the camera, there we go. The camera picks it up a little bit. It's like a holographic Pokemon card if you are of that generation. Probably the shiniest, or maybe second shiniest, Grateful Dead box set that I have, right behind the Saint of Circumstance box set from a few years ago. But really great box set. Got into it over the past week, listened to it a couple times. Let me show it off for you. Here you can see opening it up. It's got very similar kind of liner notes booklet from the Buffalo, the 5/9/77 Record Store Day release. I believe that was 2020 that came out. That came out fall 2020 as part of a Record Store Day drops during the height of the pandemic. I don't know how many people went to their local record stores or ordered it online from their local record stores, but I know I, for one, was stockpiling a lot of Grateful Dead concerts. Something to do, social distanced, stay at home, just listen to some great music. But here you can see the booklet for this release. Great essays, really a nice package. And then let's take a look at the record. Here you can see the label, fairly standard for the series, for the Get Shown the Light vinyl pressing series. And this one, of course, is 5 full discs, 10 sides of music. And so we don't have the 10th side. I think there was an etching on the 10th side of both the Buffalo, and from what I've read, Cornell has that etching on the 10th side. This one's got music on all 10 sides. How novel. And part of the reason why there's probably such a long line, I read a statistic just recently this week that 50% of vinyl buyers in the United States don't have a record player. Now, I've got a record player. I love my record player. I'm sure everyone watching this video has a record player and listens to their records. But there's, I guess, a collector's mentality of records that are going around right now. People want to buy things, put them on their wall art, look at them, collect them like little tchotchkes and collectibles, but then listen to their music on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever is the most convenient for them. I for one, like the intentional listening of putting a record on the record player. Nothing against Spotify, nothing against Apple Music, but nothing compares to records. I'm curious what you guys think about, what guys and ladies think about the phenomenon of people buying records, but they don't have a record player. They don't even have one of those Urban Outfitters suitcase record players. Do you think this is a fine thing? Supporting the record industry, helping the pressing plants and the independent record stores keep the lights on so that the more serious collectors like us can, or not even collectors, serious listeners like us can buy up what we want? Or would you rather, only people like us are end up buying records? Let me know down below what you think about that. Now, if you are an eagle-eyed hype sticker watcher, as you can see here on the hype sticker, it says trilogy of Boston, Cornell, and the Buffalo Show. They're rewriting history and taking it out of that box set, I guess. I guess we won't be anticipating a release of that show. It's now a trilogy and not a 4-release series. But overall, it's a really great package. Really handsome stuff. I was really struck after New Minglewood Blues. Between New Minglewood Blues and what came after that? That was Mississippi Half Step. At the end of, let's see, that is record 1. At the very end of record 1, Bobby points out that it's Billy's birthday. And that kind of sets the tone for this show. It feels like a party and mentality, or it feels like, they're excited, they're having fun, they're loose, they're not terribly introspective here. Nothing wrong with introspective Dead, but it's just fun, loose Dead. It's Saturday night. They're in Boston. They're having a good time. It's the Boston Garden. Have a great time for Billy's birthday. And great time they have. I think the big jam of this, or one of the biggest songs on this, to me, is a big Terrapin Station and a big Eyes of the World. Really incredible and fun and loose, and it's very carefree Dead. So I love this because it doesn't feel like it's just, a carbon copy or too similar from the rest of the Get Show and the Light box set. They're all very unique and special shows. Deadheads really appreciate those intricacies or those differences between shows, even within a short run, like the 4 shows that comprise Get Show and the Light. Next up, from Record Store Day, we've got some Jerry. Wouldn't be Record Store Day without a little bit of Jerry. You get a Dead release and a Jerry release, almost seemingly every Record Store Day. And this year's Jerry release is How Sweet It Is, which is from the Warfield Theater. Some 90s Jerry at the Warfield Theater with the 90s crew. And take a look inside. But, of course, you've got Melvin Seals, you've got David Kemper, you've got John Kahn, Jackie LaBranche, you've got Gloria Jones. It's just great. It's great Jerry. Some of my favorite Jerry Garcia songs on here. How Sweet It Is, that's a special song for me and my partner. Tears of Rage, really great Bob Dylan cover. Cats Under the Stars, underappreciated, I think. Gomorrah, love Gomorrah. It's just great Jerry. The funny thing about these Record Store Day Jerry Garcia releases, typically they're round records. This I don't think was round records. They sit for a little while. They're easy to pick up. And so if you were looking to pick this up it's a week after Record Store Day, you could probably still get it from your local independent record store. Probably a few folks selling it online now that they're allowed to sell online. I think it's past that 24-hour window of not being able to sell Record Store Day releases online. So if you're looking for some great Warfield Theater Jerry Garcia band 90s Jerry that's really good, I know people are a little bit unsure about 90s Jerry, but this is a killer release. I highly recommend it. So great pickup in my opinion. And then just some quick non-Dead related releases I mentioned during my Record Store Day preview video from about a month or two ago. I was interested in 20th anniversary Broken Social Scene, You Forget It in People, alternate album art. Sounds really good. Glad I picked this one up. Another special record for me. Listened to it so many times over the past 20 years. And then another one I've picked up a little bit shiny in this outer sleeve, but Jonathan Richman, Jonathan Goes Country. And you can see, if I can line this up with the camera, Craft Recording Company. So you know it's going to sound good. Anything with that Craft Recording Company sticker, you're probably going to pay a heavier price, but it's going to sound great. To me, that's one of those. It's one of those logos that if I see it on a record, I know it's going to sound really good. And this record sounds great. So any Jonathan Richman fans looking to pick that up, it's a really good. I think there was a previous pressing I mentioned on my preview video. I thought it was the first time on vinyl. But then about a month ago at Academy Records up in Greenpoint in Brooklyn, I saw a copy of this on vinyl. So I was, definitely wrong. Definitely not the first time that this came out on vinyl. But I think this is probably a bigger pressing of the previous one. It's the first time it's on cowboy boot red vinyl, so beautiful vinyl, and it just sounds fantastic. And so if you're a Jonathan Richman fan, I would say pick it up. Now there's a lot of other Dead releases coming up in the next couple weeks on this channel. I'm going to show off, I got the new Cornell 77, so I'm going to show that off and talk about how that's different from my old Cornell 77, which is not the real Cornell 77. If you remember from my bootleg video, it's missing a couple songs. We've got Dave's Picks 23 coming out soon. We've got new Dave's Picks CD coming in the mail soon, so a lot of Dead coming through. So a lot of Dead to share, to look at, to most importantly listen to. So thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video and you're not already subscribed, please, I do ask, if you're interested in seeing more, hit that subscribe button. Looking to see this little community of Deadhead vinyl lovers here on YouTube grow. And that's it for today. So thank you very much for joining me. Peace.